we wanted to spend some time today to talk about all the progress that's been made in our animal welfare department. And so I'm going to kind of share some high-level results, really, at the end of the day. And then we're going to hear from our director, and then we can take some Q&A. But we've talked a little bit about this in different venues, and I think it's one of the most amazing things. You know, when I came into this position, I think I was put on notice that a department that really needed some attention was the animal welfare department. And wonderfully, I think because of the crew that's been here for years, some for decades, and then a lot of the new folks we brought in too, this has been a department that actually at the administrative level we've had to spend very little time on because it is just rocking it in all sorts of ways. And we're going to share with you those ways here. Also, I think it's a good reflection of what we wanted to do in terms of bringing in some outside folks with respect to our deputy director, but also leveraging some talent we had in-house. And so we were really glad that Danny was up for taking on a new department. This is your third department? Fourth department? Third department. Yeah. And so we want to share with you some of the results now that we're, sort of a year and a half in. And I think first and foremost, this department has more to do with our city than just animals. And I say that because in many ways there are all sorts of studies that show how a city and how a community actually interacts and engages with its pets, particularly cats and dogs, is a reflection in many ways of the direction of the community. And in fact, there are many public safety areas that are related to. We see a high correlation between abuse, for example, with animals and unfortunately domestic violence. So we also believe this is part of just our city trying to own our challenges, but also trying to address things from all sides. And making this a better place to live is very much related to making this a better place for our animals. And so with respect to that, for us, a humane Albuquerque is very much literally about our animal and our dog and cat friends, but also about how we are more friendly towards each other and how our families are healthier. So for us, a couple of things that we want to touch on. Last year, for the fiscal year compared to the prior year, euthanasia is down 10%. That is extraordinary. And the raw numbers show these are the lowest euthanasia numbers in the history of the department. That is awesome. Congratulations. And we know there's obviously a role for euthanasia. We want to acknowledge that. We know our veterinarians have to deal with that too. But keeping those numbers as low as possible is just outstanding. And so for us, this is about reaching a goal, but it's, as I mentioned, more than directly about euthanasia. It's also about reclaims are up 8%. We have a 25% more specialized surgeries were performed by our medical team. Dr. Vigil, where are you, by the way?
I think she's actually might be in surgery right now, so.
Hence why they're up by 25%. And animals died in our care that, happens inevitably, down 15.9%. We'll call it 16. And so these are amazing accomplishments. And I think the last but not least, our volunteers poured over 17,000 dedicated hours into helping maintain not only the physical space, but also the mental health of our pets that are in our care. And so this is outstanding. It also means that we have met our goal to be qualified as a no-kill shelter. Just a reminder for folks, even the no-kill concept is 90% no-kill, because there are sometimes reasons where that just is a reality. But we've been able to make sure that our shelters on average have a save rate of 90% or above for one full year. Awesome, again. Great job, everybody. Yeah. And so this is truly, I think, a great example of this concept, too, of one Albuquerque. We've got a department working hard, working across their respective divisions. We also have the volunteers pouring in all those hours. This is what it's all about in terms of coming together to deal with our challenges. And our animal welfare department, we believe, is truly, really now a community win. And I think it's back to that shining star status that I know it was a while ago. And we're always so hesitant to over-celebrate. But I think this department has done an outstanding job. And I know I'm very proud as mayor, but I think our city is as well. And so we also want to, of course, let families know we've got lots of great animals up for adoption and lots of great improvements on the way too, including some long overdue physical improvements that are in our upcoming bond issue that we want everyone to support in November. So with that, to hear a little bit more about our goals for the future, our director, Danny Navarez.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I have to thank Mayor Keller for the unparalleled support that he's given this department. We literally would not be standing here right now if it weren't for Mayor Keller. So, Mayor Keller, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I mean, it's really fantastic what's going on here. I cannot tell you, yes, thank you. I cannot tell you how proud I am of the staff and volunteers and community partners that have all contributed to this higher save rate. The numbers that the mayor was mentioning is nothing short of amazing from last fiscal year. In the last month, I've had several people ask me, what's different? You know, why are the numbers trending so well? And the truth is that there's not any one thing that's different. You know, in the past, I've talked about our culture being one of the key elements to our success, and it is, but there's more to it than that. Everyone standing behind me right now has contributed to this milestone being reached, but there's a few areas that rarely get mentioned that I'd like to mention. We have a financial team led by Erica Garcia that is tracking our budget in near real time. And Erica is more than a financial manager. She's a business partner that understands how to support a department to align its spending with its desired outcomes. Don Hill is a seasoned professional in human resources who has our vacancy rate at the lowest it's ever been. Joel Craig, I think, who's our most tenured employee, has poured his heart into updating our facility and providing more enrichment infrastructure for the homeless pets in our care. As Mayor mentioned, Dr. Vigil and her staff have increased the number of complex surgeries. And so also Adam Rickey, as the mayor mentioned, has helped us connect with national partners and has engaged his teams in a whole new way. And so in summary, we have a great team of professionals, but there's still more to it than that. As a team, we've identified a vision to maximize life-saving within the shelter, and we've developed 5 pillars that we focus on. The first is to increase our medical capacity to ensure that our vets are focused on taking care of the pets that are in our care. The second is intake prevention, and I think a good example of that is our free microchip events that we've had a lot of success with. Also, increasing the enrichment for the pets while they're in our care. And one of our behaviorists put it in a very unique way that we're not saving just the bodies, but also the minds of the pets that we care for. Also, fourth is disease control. And within the shelter, we are taking the necessary steps to prevent the spread of deadly disease. And last is changing the public perception so that the community recognizes that we're a life-saving organization focused on maximizing just that, life-saving. So, once again, in summary, we've put together a great team of professionals. We've developed a shared vision of success. We've fostered a culture of excellence and innovation. And most importantly, we've got Mayor Keller and his administration standing behind us. So what's next? The next step is one that we have to take as a community. We have to maximize spay-neuter, microchipping, and vaccination within the city of Albuquerque. Within the shelter, we're working towards continuous improvement, but how we're going to get to that next step is by coming together as a community to save the lives of the pets of this community. Thank you very much. And take it away.
Well, we're going to, I think, formally kind of conclude things. Our director's here for any questions that you've got or other members of the staff. However, you guys want to, Desiree can kind of organize us. And, you know, I just want to, again, I think say that you always hope as mayor that, and this, I'm really going to kind of, I'm sorry I'm talking to everyone behind me, but, you know, you always want to be able to, like, there's always this notion that, like, well, if you just let people do the job that they've been trained to and that they love, that, you know, it's all going to work out. And I wish it worked out that way in other departments. But in this department, it really has. It's just awesome. So I really want to thank you for that. And congratulations. We're looking forward to all we can do in the upcoming years, too. So thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. Good.
Yeah.